We are again back on Smart FM, dear listeners. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Today we are yet here to speak with you about issues of integrity. We want to thank you so much for being always tuned in always. It's 10 minutes past 8 and it is Pathway for Integrity Network. Here with us we have Pastor Asaf. Pastor,
yes,
you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, dear listeners. Always grateful to have you on Smart FM. It is a Monday, the 16th of December, 2024. By the way, we are nearing Christmas, and
Christmas is next Wednesday. So
the year is ending. People should get ready for Masala.
But the vibe is not there. It seems to be in maybe July. It seems like it's not a festive season. I don't know what went wrong.
Of course, the vibe may be as a result of what is happening in the country. People are so much crying about financial concentrates. So maybe most of the people are not doing well.
Sure.
But you should keep the vibe. Yeah, you know, some people, I wonder, they even eat, they have chances of eating meat every day, but when they don't eat meat on Christmas Day, they feel so bad as if they have never eaten it.
Yeah,
so we encourage our dear listeners to keep the vibe. Don't mind, just keep trusting God. Most especially us who are Christians, we don't lose hope.
We don't lose hope.
It is not food that make us.
But you see, Pastor, Christmas is all about it's all about family. Because what really makes up Christmas enjoyable? How do you have fun on Christmas? It's just coming together as family and reflect on where God has blessed you, where you're heading to. It's time to share jokes, it's time to share fun. It's just basically a family issue. And I think when you have that, then you've enjoyed Christmas. There's nothing short of that.
Actually, much more, we also have Christmas as we celebrate the birth
of Christ.
Of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I remember when the angels were announcing his birth.
Yeah.
In the book of Luke, it is written that the angels said peace and goodwill towards men.
Yeah.
So if he says peace, then it is peace that there is hope in him. Those who have been struggling, those who have been faced with different challenges, they can find their rest in the Lord.
Yeah.
So if you are a Christian, please don't overcry. There is hope in Christ.
Sure.
Yeah. So you must have that peace of mind within your heart, within you, because Christ is there for us always.
Yeah.
A miracle can happen and someone brings you food.
It's not about money. You see, we've over-monetarized everything in life, and that's why maybe the issue of vibe is low comes in. People are struggling financially. There's no money. You know, the entire economy has been hit, the world's economy. We've never recovered ever since we had COVID-19. The money that we used to earn is not the way it is currently. It's currently a serious struggle. In fact, you can try to look at how much money you can use to really feel that you've purchased what is enough for your family. A 50,000 note can no longer satisfy a family. And that is coming up because of the financial struggles that people are going through. But nevertheless, we need to have hope and know that our God that we believe in is one that does so many wonders and good things in our life. When you maintain the hope, definitely there is something that will change of your life.
Yeah, and also the topic we are looking at today, which is self-discovery. One of the reasons as to why there are still financial struggles in most of people's lives. It's not someone discovering themselves, understanding who they are, so that they can manage maybe their expenditures and income. They can fight about finding opportunities.
Yes.
They can work hard so that such struggles can reduce in their lives.
Yeah.
Because we are the same people crying, there are people who are making money, there are people who are surviving. Not because they are earning a lot,
No.
but because they have a plan for their life,
and
they are doing whatever it takes to make sure that they survive. So self-discovery will get us into more understanding of how we can solve the puzzle development.
Sure. To you, our listeners that are joining us this evening, we want to appreciate your time. Welcome aboard. We are Pathway for Integrity Network and a team of able gentlemen and ladies that are fighting against evil by doing good.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that seems hard for humanity, but with God we know everything is possible. You may not believe that one day this world can be much better than it is today. There are so many things that people think are impossible. One talks about, can we really do away with corruption? Can we eliminate corruption in our lives? It's possible. It is possible, because amidst the so many rotten tomatoes in the basket, there are those that are good, and the good ones are the ones that we want to base on to exemplify goodness.
Sure.
And that the light that they're shining continues to shine among those that are bad, and the bad ones can also turn. You cannot imprison people, you cannot punish people by any state and you change habits. Habits are never changed by punishment. Habits are changed by character change. What is it that you need someone to do right? That is what you should always amplify. You know, human beings are spoken to. Human beings see what they do.
Sure.
And the moment they see bad things, they will do bad. The moment they see so many good things, then they will do good. So it's about us amplifying the goodness among humanity. And that is what matters most.
A few weeks ago, I was talking about how the church should lead by example.
Example, yes.
You know, when you talk about the issue of corruption, it is an issue with the heart and the mind.
And mind, yeah.
It is not something you can just deal with from the outside. I was telling people that we need to look at the source of the problem.
Okay.
When did man get corrupt? Because corruption is not only in money, it's moral decay.
Yeah.
We look at the general moral decay of man, something which was formerly good and it's turning out to be bad. We see people coming out with different habits, but these habits are not on the outside. They are coming from
the
within.
inside, yeah, from within.
Yeah, anyone can be tempted to steal, anyone can be tempted to do anything bad.
Pastor, just a minute.
Yes.
As we continue with that. Members, we are going to discuss about self-discovery, but some of the things come out and there is an extension of everything that we say. From my personal reflection, I look at the first sin, that is the evil between Adam and Eve.
And Eve, yes.
Having been brought about by an exposure to sin.
Yes.
I don't know whether the story would have been different if Adam and Eve were not exposed to temptation. You understand? That if you brought it in this normal life that we lead, it is until one is exposed to a situation that tempts them that they will either get to sin or deny the sin, fight against sin. So it's two-way. The aspect of the will of man is very key in determining the direction man is taking.
Sure.
If man is exposed to aspects of sin, for instance, I normally tell people that if you are exposed to a community of sinful people, there are high chances that you may end up being a sinner. If you're exposed to whatever you watch that actually corrupts your mind, you watch videos that are not good, are immoral, you speak to people that are immoral, there are high chances that you're also going to end up being immoral.
Sure.
So you don't need to, there is something that you need to position yourself. And this goes back to what we are discussing today. Discover who you are. The Bible talks about us being created wonderfully.
And fearfully.
And fearfully. There is an aspect that you should know. You are not just a creation of sorts, no matter how you are conceived. But the key aspect in the science of your conception is that you are so different from the so many animals that walk on this earth. You're in fact far much better than animals, because animals, yes, someone says they have a sense that humanity cannot sense, but a human being, no matter how you've labeled him, whether a dull person, whether a poor person, because those are all labelings that come with the human life that we live in. But that person that you're seeing has a science behind him that no man can comprehend how it came to be. So one thing you need to know is that as human beings, take a position that will lead you to the right way.
Yes.
Don't go the wrong way. Don't be tempted to take the wrong direction, because the road to the wrong direction leads you to darkness and destruction.
Sure.
At the end of the day, what you see as pleasure today will end up becoming a lot of tears, because you cry. You end up crying a lot simply because you took a wrong choice, you took a wrong decision, and you didn't discover how fearfully and wonderfully God created you.
Actually, that takes us into the today's proverb.
Yes.
Bad company corrupts good character. For those who read from the Bible, it is in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 33.
Yes.
Actually, when you read downwards, it says, please think twice and come back to your senses.
The Bible is speaking about it.
Yeah, some versions say that. Yeah, come back to your senses. Understand how you began your journey.
Yeah.
How you got that job.
The job, yes.
How you got into that marriage.
The marriage.
How you got into that business.
Exactly. There is always a starting point.
Exactly.
And you see, when the reflection is back to the starting point, at the starting point, always things are done right.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
No one starts something on the wrong footing. The thinking, the mindset, the everything, wherever you're starting from, whether it's a marriage, it is always a positive.
Yes.
Whether it is education, it is a positive. Whether it's a job, it is a positive. Now, how do you get to be corrupted? It is along the way, from the start to the point where you are.
The people you meet.
The people you meet along the way. Whom do you interact with? Because if I joined a job today, whatever company I've joined, you know, I come with this thinking that I should do the right thing because I'm thinking about being promoted. I should encourage my other colleagues to do the right thing because this is our company. You loved the job the first day you got it.
Yes.
You loved the marriage the first day you got it. You loved your education the first day you went to the university. How come you're actually in a drinking point, a drinking joint today, yet you joined that education circle while having a lot of plans to become the number one, maybe doctor, maybe a nurse, to become a lawyer, to become everything. But along the way, you have actually gone away from what you thought about.
Yeah.
That is when you need to self-discover yourself.
Self-discovery takes us back to think twice and remember how we began and the vision we had, like you said from the very start. What did you want to become?
Yeah.
So that keeps you going.
Yes.
Because we've seen many people are losing track because this person has met so and so and they have spoken in their lives, so they try to copy their lifestyle. They try to be like them.
They've taken the bad company.
Yes. It may even be a good company.
Yes.
Take an example. You may be coming from a poor background.
True.
You go to the university and then you find a rich friend.
A rich friend who is now actually telling you what to do, or actually you're copying what exactly
telling you what to do. They want you to be going out like them. But while this person has it in mind that if I fail at university, I will go back and work in my father's company.
Because the father has money.
Because the father has money. I can go back at home and sit and still be fed. Because the father has money. I can inherit what my dad has. Even if I don't study. But you, a poor person coming from Namutumba, I can say like
somewhere,
that, somewhere else, you need to think about it. Think twice before you act. You know, English people say that for every action, there is always what? Is it science? That is science.
It's physics, in fact.
Physics. For every action, there is always what?
A reaction.
Reaction. Before you act, think about.
As we come back after this short commercial break, I want to ask a question, Pastor. Is this journey of self-discovery coming when you have sinned? Is that when you discover you have to think twice on what journey you've taken? Is it coming after regret or a position when things have not gone well? Do I self-discover even in times of abundance? Can I self-discover when things are going on well? And how do I do this? How do I begin to think that it's time for me to discover the true me as opposed to the character that I've taken that is not mine? All right, we are getting back after a short commercial break. Please stay tuned. 9 p.m. You're listening to our program, Path of Integrity Network program. We are here every Monday 8 to 9 p.m. I hope those that have candidly followed us in these shows, you have a lot that you've come along with, and you've learned so much regarding what Pathway for Integrity is. We always encourage you to pay us a visit because we have an office here in Ginger on Haji Hussein building. That's Clyde Road. Behind that is Bank of Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, that storage building. Just go to first floor and room number 21. That's where we sit. Pay us a visit. Let's talk. Let's have a chat on how to make this world better. Because remember, our mission here as Path of Integrity Network is to see that the world we live in is much better than the way we are living in today. Pastor, the question has been posed. When do I have to begin saying now, it is time to discover myself again?
I think when we were off air, we really pointed out something very interesting. That you'll never discover yourself if you are not lost. And until you get lost, that's when you have to discover the road, the entire life. You can't tell someone who is on a straight, who is on the right track that you are lost, that you need to discover yourself. So it is all about someone who has lost track, that they need to discover where they started from, so that they can take the right direction. Yes. I may also think that someone who started with the right direction had a vision or a goal of where he or she wants to be, or where he wants to go. So for them to come back to take the right direction, they must be knowing where they are. You see, Pastor, one thing I will agree with you is that this entire journey of self-discovery has to come at a point when things have gone wrong. Why I think in the same line like you're thinking is that the moment you do not take the wrong path, the moment you're not on the wrong path, then there's no reason as to why you should get back to the right path. Okay? So until things get worse, and as we speak right now, we have so many of us who are caught in a kind of hard situation. You ask yourself so many questions. Why do I get myself doing this habit ever and ever again? Every time you wake up in the morning, something speaks to you. You know, we have voices that speak to us. These voices are the voice of wisdom and knowledge, and then there is one that is the voice of perversion. Sure. As a human being, there is something that keeps speaking to you, telling you that this is the correct path. But because the power of Satan, the satanic power, is too much, has overwhelmed you, you end up actually taking the wrong direction. And we actually said it here. I was giving an example of there. Don't you think prostitutes reach a point and ask themselves, why do we do this? Why do I do this act of prostitution all the time? I know the public condemns them, say, no, those ones are already wrong characters. But there is a point when someone is alone in the room. There's a point when they are seated somewhere under the tree and they are looking at their entire life. Someone is seeing the life that he is leading. It's a wrong life. I will talk about the homosexuals. There's a point when a homosexual will sit down and think about, how do I do such an unnatural act? A person that grew up from a family that is understanding. I grew up as a man, but look at what I'm doing.
I grew up as a woman, but look at the direction that I've taken. So there is that point. And it is that point that is a decider. When you either take backwards and say, no, I will get back to my original position. I will change. And that means when the person speaks about changing, they shun all the wrong that they have been doing and then decide to take the right path.
Do you want to say that somebody is overwhelmed by their struggles?
Exactly. There's so much.
Take a decision.
So much struggles. If someone stealthily goes and does adultery, and he knows that he's actually committing adultery, they are wedded, they are married, they are actually happily married. There's a point when they reach and say, but look at me. I'm doing such an act. My husband is not doing
my
it.
Husband.
My wife is not doing it. There are those pointers in life. But you see, why people struggle to come out of that situation, not to discover themselves, is two things. One, they are either being supported by the voice of evil, either coming from the colleagues, the people that they have actually moved with wrong character, whereby before they actually think twice of changing their lifestyle to back to where they're supposed to be, the other voices keep shining. Say, no, you come and we go. No one should, there's a voice of your friend that you've actually been so close to, who is calling you back to that act. You have a voice that is telling you, please do not move that direction. It's a wrong direction. But these voices are taking you. Number two, it's a voice of intoxication, not a voice, an act. Someone becomes intoxicated by so many drinks. He's drinking a lot, he's smoking a lot, he's doing all acts. And like I said, when someone gets themselves drunk, then there are so many chances that they have not actually, they are not themselves.
They don't feel themselves.
They don't feel themselves.
So they get drunk to be away from themselves.
To be away from the true self. Okay? And wherever they are away from the true self, then the acts that we are talking about that are regrettable are done severally. Because they will do it without knowing what they are. So the journey of self-discovery, Pastor, is a journey that has to be taken by someone who is lost along the way.
And who has understood it.
And who has understood it. Whether in business, it is until you're doing the wrong things that you begin to discover. It's until you've not gotten any business to do that you discover that you need to do a business. So, any person that wants to know who the true self is has to go on to the journey of self-discovery.
Somebody posed that question one time when we are here. That how do I begin the journey of self-discovery? And this is what we can tell you. It all begins with a vision.
A vision, yeah.
Which vision did you start with?
Where were you before reaching where you are? Because there is some good person that was you that later on became a different person. And when you think about the journey that from where you started from, there is something that was so unique about your lifestyle. It was not that you who is standing right now, who is listening right now. There's something that has changed of your life, and it has created the wrong character in you, and which we think it's not too late. It's just a matter of saying, I can change. I can become a different person. I am going to be different from today, and that is all.
And we want to tell people, sometimes it may be a force.
Yeah.
Where you cannot help yourself or where you can't save yourself.
Yeah.
You can go to a church. You can go and be prayed for.
Exactly.
If you see that you are overwhelmed by your sin, you can't help yourself out, please go and they pray for you.
The other thing is
or they counsel you.
Before you actually even reach to church, just find a quiet place. Could be your room. Speak to yourself. Speak to God. Tell God, God, I'm tired of who I am. The one that I am today is not fit to be called your son. Please, I pray to be changed. A simple prayer that you mean can actually change your life. And you're going to see life so different. I'm telling you, you're not going to have the boredom that you're thinking you get into. In fact, some of us do not drink, do not smoke alcohol, do not smoke marijuana, but we live on a daily and we are living happily.
We are happy, peaceful. So that's what you need to do. Even God waits for your decision.
Yes, true. It's until you decide that God will actually take you to the right
help you out.
No, He created a will in us. It's about our will. We will to take the wrong direction or the right direction. God is watching you, and He knows my son has a destiny somewhere.
Exactly.
And that destiny is waiting for him. In the story of the prodigal son, not until the prodigal son went
Came back to his senses
and said, now, who am I to begin eating these ramshackle things? Yet I have a father who has plenty. And that is it. You have someone, you have you have God to aid you through everything.
By the way, you can go and read about the story of the prodigal son in Luke 15. Those who read the Bible, this younger man came back to his senses.
Exactly. But it took him time to know that he had gotten lost. Let's get back to a commercial break and come back with callers. We will be back on Monday, God willingly. Be blessed.